Hey, today we're going to talk about passwordless logon. So pretty much, this is something you're gonna have to learn, and it's pretty and very simple. So a quick explanation is you have a number of servers in your environment, right? So in this example, we only have two servers, two hosts. We have this host. We do IPA. It's 172.31.93.166. And then we have this host. 172.31.86.132. So you want all the hosts, at least for tools like Jenkins, which helps developers deploy code and has a lot of other functionality, or Ansible, which helps system administrators or engineers manage a lot of hosts in their environment. You want to configure passwordless logon attempt. So what you need to do is, whichever user that you need to configure passwordless logon attempt, you just need to generate a key. So let's imagine I want to open a door. I need the key to the house. Or you want to open a car. You need the key to the house. And obviously, everybody needs their own key to the house, right? So let's create a user here. We say user add Theo. I need to do this as a sudo user add Theo. So now we have this user Theo. So let's use the user Theo. SU Theo. So that's just saying we want to be Theo. There's no password right now for Theo, so let's create a password for him. Theo. And I'll call this, so sudo again, passwd Theo. We're gonna give Theo a password of 321. 321, just to keep it simple. So now if we do su Theo, it's 321. Cool. So now let's imagine we wanted to log into this host, and we tried SSH Theo. First of all, we don't even have an account here, so why don't we just create an account here, right? Let's do same thing, sudo add user Theo, sudo passwd Theo. So in Linux, I'm pretty sure you already know this, but sudo is it's like saying please. You want to grant those extra permissions. So sudo passwd Theo. Same thing, 321, enter, 321, enter. Okay. So with this IP, let's imagine we wanted to authenticate from the left to the right. We will do SSH Theo at. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. She's asking for password, and we created a password 321. Now we're inside of this host, right? IPA. We're inside 132. We're inside 132. But if you have Jenkins or you have Ansible, you want these background processes or playbooks or Jenkins to be able to log in without a password. And obviously, the whole point of development operations is to speed things up, right? So you don't need an administrator or an engineer there to be entering password. So if we do the same thing, let's exit. So with close connection to 132. So if we do SSH Theo again, 321. It's always asking for password. But what we want is passwordless login attempt. So I'm going to exit again. And what the steps to create a passwordless login attempt is very simple. So once you're logged in as that user, you want to generate a key with this command, ssh dash keygen. This will automatically generate a key, and it will put it under the .ssh directory. But if you wanted to, generate a different type of key or store it somewhere else, obviously you can always use the -- help parameters to see, what you can pass into this SSH keygen format. Command. So key format, passphrase, I know one that people use a lot is the small letter T, which is for type. I don't see here. It's probably in the man pages. And another one people use a lot is like where they want it stored, which is the dash. Let's see. Let's man it. Man SSH keygen. LR. Oh, okay. It's the -F. That will tell the SSH keygen where you want that file stored, right? So we're not even going to use any of the flags in this. We're going to use the default, and it's always recommended to use the default because anyone who comes into the environment automatically knows to look in the user's home directory for the keygen. So if we ll/home deal, let's do -al to list everything. This has a .ssh file. So let me ll this. Yeah. So it has the .ssh files because we were logging into this host. So it's just saying known host. It knows this host already. It's kind of like a cache. So if we cat that file, you see it just kind of has this key right here saying that it knows that it's been logging into this guy. But what we want now is for passwordless login. So we're just going to use the SSH keygen command, generating key pair, enter a file in which you want to save the key. We're going to hit enter, so it saves it as this default path. Enter a passphrase. In some environments, if they require to have a passphrase, that's fine. Usually, you don't want a passphrase because other administrators or engineers have to use the same system. Enter same passphrase again. Enter. So now we have a SSH. We have a public key and a private key. And to verify that we have a public key and a private key, it's always going to be stored under your .ssh file, right? So now we have this public key and a private key. So the public key is what you want to give this guy, and the private key stays here. So instead of you even copying this file, this public key file right here, let's clear this really quick. Let's see where we are. Okay, so we need to cd home. So this is the key file, right? It's the public key that we want to give this guy. So if we look in here now and do a ll-al/home do, let's make ourselves, let's become Theo. So let's run this command again. We don't have any key file here, right? So the command is pretty easy. It's ssh copy ID, and then you want this host name or the IP address. So in this instance, we're going to use the IP address. And since we're logged in as Theo, it's going to copy Theo's key, not the root's key. It's going to copy whoever you're logged in public key. So do that and hit enter. So it says source of the key to be installed, Theo SSH public key, attempting to log in with new keys. If you are prompted now to install the keys, so it says attempting to log in with the new keys to filter that out of user bin SSH keys remain to be installed. If you are prompted to install the new keys, okay, so it's asking for the password 321. So number of keys added, bam. So that's a success. So I'm gonna clear this. Now on this end, I'm gonna clear this. Let's see where we are. Let's go into Theo's directory. cd home Theo. .ssh. See, now we have a key here. We didn't have this before. So if we cat this, this is the key. So that's it, pretty much. So now if we try to log in here, it will allow us to log in without a password. I'm just gonna copy this right here and do the same thing, the same command that we were running previously. SSH Theo at IP address or host name. It didn't prompt us for a key. So that's pretty much it. That's configuring passwordless login attempt between hosts. This is a very important topic. Thank you guys. You will always have to do this in a lot of environments.